problem is that many of us have not been schooled in the skill of communication. Now, when you say, we did 6 figures, I hope you know that when you say we did 6 figures is from 100,000 to 999,000. It's less than $1 million. But when you say we did 6 figures, you have left them with a wide gap to be using their brain to crack. Once how much did you make last year? 200,000. How can you say 200,000? We did 6 figures. Because it is what? 6 figures. 100,000, 6 figures. 300,000, 6 figures. 800,000, 6 figures. So we did 7 figures last year. 7 figures. 7 figures is from 1 million all the way. We did 8 figures. Say, Hello? Now, just to help you. Because communication is very key. Now, if you have, look at this, if you have a carton or a box, and inside that box, let's use pharmaceutical for instance. So inside that box, you now have 20 packs. Please, mathematics, somebody be helping me. There's a box. Inside that box, you have 20 packs. Inside each of those packs, you have 10 sachets. So that's now 10 sachets times 20 boxes. Abi? Okay, so do the calculation. Then inside each sachet, you have 20 tablets. So that's 20 tablets times 10 sachets in a box times 20. What's the total? 4,000. Now, listen. If you now say, I'm telling you, service. You are an NGO, you are a comedian, you are... that if you now say, last year alone, we gave 4,000 tablets. You know you have not lied. But if you say last year we gave 1 carton, what is she now? You gave just 1 carton. But if you say last year we gave away 4,000 tablets. Once they see 1,000, they are forgotten tablets. In psychology, they won't think tablet. It's number, not tablet. It's numbers. 4,000. Hello? So when you are pricing a service, focus more on what? Credibility, customer base, and what's the third one? Did you write it down? Acceptance, yeah. So now, there are a lot of things you will do pro bono. A lot of things, especially you are a comedian, you are a speaker, you are a consultant. You need to have what we call the proof of concept to even be sure that this thing can work. And to do that, it's not money you are looking for. It's those 3 things. With time, you can now begin to build yourself. When you are getting testimonial, you are seeing the value. You now begin to say, okay, I can now charge this. I can now charge this. I can now charge that. Do you understand that? So now let me go to the other side of pricing. Don't price yourself too high. It can be a problem. Don't price yourself too low. It can be a problem. When you now decide to price, too high, too low can be a problem. But what determines whether the pricing is appropriate, because pricing is relative to your target market, is the fact of who is the person that is buying. Because there are some people, once it is cheap, they are not interested. Because cheap communicates fake, communicates inferior. But when it is expensive, it communicates class, exclusivity. Because at a level in the life of people, they don't buy product, they buy experience. They buy status, they buy belong. So you have to now decide by yourself that, you know what, this is where I'm going to operate. Now, let me see if I can give you 2 true life stories using my experience. So we started our estate in 99, with 1997, 98, 99, just buying. Then 2001, we started the major estates. We bought the land for 50,000 and sold for 100,000. Great mistake. We thought we were making profit. We bought for 300,000 per acre. We sold for 500. Great mistake. See, today, I've not recovered from the debt. 24 years later. The trouble is still there 24 years later. Why? Because if somebody buys, you buy a land for 50,000, you sold for 100. It was when I now got back to the office. People were paying, they were paying. And I got back to the office because we bought 50 acres. And 50 acres is supposed to be 300 plots. We now started selling and selling. When I now got to the office, look, I started building technology and quantity survey, going to school, academic education and street smart. That's where mentorship comes in. Internship you did not do, apprenticeship you did not do, you are not doing, no problem. I now sat down. And I said, okay, so how do we go about? I said, we need to do a layout. I said, which one is layout? They said, we have to divide so that everybody can get to their plot. By the time they now did division, they say out of the 50 acres, we would need about 10 acres for road. I didn't think of road when I was selling land. Road. I say road. Then, before you know it, the 300 has reduced. Then they say we'll now do a perimeter fencing, perimeter survey. By the time they told me the money, it was more than the money that people pay. I'm like, hey. Then now someone will now do that. Everybody will now have to do survey. I said, they will do survey. He said, yeah. He said, if you buy a car, you have to now pay for plate number, registration. I said, me, I thought, I said, so that's okay. Everybody, you have to do survey. I went to the government. Say, how much is survey? They said survey is 18,000. It's okay, no problem. So we now added 2,000 admin. We now wrote letter to everybody to say you will pay 20,000 naira for survey. That's where we started. So which one is survey? And you call yourself a pastor. You don't tell them they drag you on social media. Don't let you know. And you call yourself a pastor. How can you be like? What can you just be lying? What is it? We have paid for everything. See, you didn't pay. You paid for land. As I'm speaking to you right now, after a while, the survey went from 18,000 to 25,000. And I'm saying, the way this thing is going, that means this will be increasing. After a while, it became 40. Now it's 500,000. You know what I now did? All the profit, all the other money, I now went ahead to do the survey for everybody. That, okay, when they now come to pay, I will recover. See, today, under God. Some of those surveys are still there 24 years later. Some people refuse to show up. Say, we're not paying. Guess what? Because I'm a pastor, I cannot sell the land. So I have been securing and maintaining that land because of it. So that when they come, their land will be there. And I started collecting money from investors. And now use investor money that I'm paying 20% to be securing land for people that are not coming. By the time I wake up, I thought I was owing 1.8 billion, 4-point-something billion debts on top land where they keep for people. Guess what? Even till last week, somebody sent me an email. I bought a land from you in 2005. What's the status? That's 20 years ago. I said, no problem. The land is there, but you are owing us. By the time we gave them the 8.5, he said, are you serious? Is that how you do people to become rich? How can I pay you 8.6 million for a land I bought for 200,000? You will hear from my lawyer. Last week. What was the charge? In the letter we gave to them, we said, this land we are giving you now, you have 5 years to build. It was documented. After 5 years, you will now begin to pay security and maintenance. So all we charge is 10,000 per month times 12 times the number of years. And then we'll do your new survey in the present level. At the point, I had 89 court cases. Yes, your pastor. I was going to FCC and going to anti-fraud, going to... We meet people. Even this one, I still went to FCC, was it 2 weeks ago? When I got there, hey, bless you, sir, bless you, sir. I said, hey, my people, my people. Pricing. I went to London to sell land. So I said, since we are selling this land, in those days, pounds was 250 naira to a pound. And it was like that for almost 20 years or more. If you know about it was 250. It never went below 240, never went above 260. Stayed like that for almost 20 years. Very stable economy. So I went to Ben TV, I went to Nigeria FM, and I did publicity. Come and buy land in Nigeria, 400 pounds per plot. Because I just wanted to sell the same Nigerian naira. I converted to pass 400 pounds. Lots of people were calling. Lots of people were texting. They want to buy, they want to buy. So when they started to say, okay, so you say 400, is that the first installment? I said, no, 400 is the old land. The old land. Because where they are coming for that 400 pounds, he cannot even pay their monthly bill. This guy cannot be real. How can you want to sell a whole land? 400 pounds. I came back, maybe I saw a few plots. So I was confused. I said, God, what am I? They say your price is too small. So you are pricing like a Nigerian. You have forgotten the... Guess what? Because of time. 3 months later, I went back to the same TV station, the same radio station, announced the same plot of land, 2,000 pounds. And they started paying. Because now it was closer. Because sometimes you think you are a good person. You are not a good person. You are just an ignorant person.